right, this is lesson 2.2, solving inequalities using addition or subtraction. So you should have written this vocab in your journals, yes?
Yes.
Somebody tell me what equivalent inequalities are. Go ahead.
Inequalities that have the same solution.
Yes, have the same solution. So you can see here the property, addition property of inequality. If I add something to one side, I have to add something to the other side. It is still equal or equivalent inequality, okay? We did this with regular equations. It's the same thing. Same with some subtraction. If I add, well, that's probably the next page. All right, so let's look at example 1. Put this in your journals.
Number line?
Well, this right here.
Oh.
So we're going to solve x minus 6 is greater than or equal to negative 10 and then graph it. So yes, you will need a number line.
Oh, I know how to do this.
Yes. Has everybody written the first part?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if we're solving for x, what is our first step?
Plus 6. Plus 6.
We're going to add 6 to both sides. All right, so what's negative 10 plus 6?
Negative 4.
Negative 4.
I was going to do this last chapter.
Yeah. Does our greater than or equal to sign change at all?
No, ma'am.
No, because we're doing addition and subtraction. It will never change on addition and subtraction.
Yeah.
Only with multiplication and division.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So your solution is x is greater than or equal to negative 4. So now we're going to graph it. So you're going to draw your number line. Where am I putting my dot?
At negative 4.
At negative 4. Open or close dot?
Close.
Close dot, because it's equal to. So close dot at 4. Which way am I shading, left or right?
Right.
To the right, because x is greater than or equal to negative 4. Ta-da! Any questions?
Oh, man.
Excellent. Everybody got that?
Yes, ma'am. Monitoring progress?
I hear 2 people that have it.
Yes.
All right, so now you're going to do monitoring progress 1 through 3. If you're online, pause the video while you do it. All right, so again, here's the subtraction property of inequality. It's the same that we did with equations. If you subtract something from one side of the inequality, you must subtract it from the other side in order for the inequality to remain equivalent.
Yes.
Got it?
Uh-huh. No.
I'm not going to make you rewrite those in your journals because you should know those. Yeah. All right, example 2. We're going to solve each of these and then graph them. So for A, write it down. We have y plus 8 is less than or equal to 5. What's the first step? Well, only step. Subtract 8 from both sides. Okay, that leaves the y on one side. What is 5 minus 8? Negative 3. So y is less than or equal to negative 3. So now you're going to draw your number line. Where am I putting a circle?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Open or closed?
Closed.
Closed. And then am I shading to the left or the right?
The left.
The left, because y is less than or equal to negative 3. Excellent. Any questions?
Is this second problem?
Yeah, B.
Okay.
So is this just not the same stuff?
It's the same stuff. It's just
Subtracting.
Her voice is gone. Yeah, we're just subtracting. It's the same as we did with addition. So let's look at B. You have negative 8 is less than 1.4 m. We're solving for m, so what am I going to move? I'm going to subtract 1.4 over to the other side. Doesn't really matter what side the m is on. So what's negative 8 minus 1.4?
Negative 9.4.
Correct. Since it's already negative, it goes further negative. So you get negative 9.4 is less than m. Draw a number line. And I've told you how I'm okay with your number lines. You can just have a 0 and then go a little bit over and put negative 9.4. I don't need everything in between for your graphing.
Wait,
0, negative 9.4,
Like this?
and then 10.
Rather than doing all the little tick marks in between it.
Oh,
Just-
I did not know that.
You weren't here. I'm okay with that. As long as it's on the correct side of 0.
So we don't even have to do like
Please don't.
any of the numbers.
Please don't. It hurts my... The fact you had to do that hurts me.
That's
You can.
terrible.
What do you mean it's
I did
terrible?
that on all of my problems.
In 5th grade.
Good practice. All right. So where am I putting my circle?
At negative 9.4.
Negative 9.4. Open or closed?
Open.
Open circle. And shade to the left or right?
Right.
To the right, because m is greater than 9.4.
So I want negative 10, negative 9.1, and 0.
That's fine. If you want to put an extra number or two, that's fine, as long as it's done correctly. All right, any questions on how to do this? Good? Excellent. All right. Monitoring progress 4 through 6. Go, go. All right, let's do example 3. This is a real-life word problem.
Oh man.
Oh, man. Write this in your journals.
Miss C's, what is this gonna help us in real life?
Whenever you have to fix a microwave right now.
You have to what?
Calculate the overload watts of an electricity of your
Can we
microwave.
just hire someone to do that?
You can.
What's a clock radio? Oh, a clock radio. I have one of those.
Shh. All right, a circuit overloads at 1,800 watts of electricity.
That's terrible.
You plug in a microwave oven that uses 1,100 watts of electricity into the circuit. This helps you if you're ever going to build your own home to know how many watts you want in your circuit board so that you know you're not going to trip the breaker every time. It's important things. It's exciting. So we're going to write and solve an inequality that represents how many watts you can add to the circuit without overloading the circuit. So at the beginning, how much did it say would overload the circuit? So that's going to be your ending.
So it'd be less than or equal to, no, it'd be less than.
There's a lot of things happening here.
Less than or equal
Okay, so we're going to take, stop talking. We're going to take what we know about what the microwave uses. We're going to say plus whatever additional watts are available, and it has to be less than or equal to, well, it has to be less than, because at 1,800 it trips the breaker. All right, so they're using W for the variable. So how many watts are used by the microwave oven?
1,100.
1,100. So we're going to put 1,100 plus W is less than, what's the max you can do?
1,800.
1,800. So now you have an equation.
I did it right.
Good job. So now we need to figure out, of all the other things we had to plug in, how much wattage do we have left to use?
700.
So we're going to subtract 1,100 from both sides.
700.
And the wattage has to be less than 700.
Whee, that's fun.
That means you can also plug in what?
Another mic. No. I don't know.
Let me go back to the little chart.
It's the radio, which is 50, and then the 330 is the blender.
Oh, yeah, you can't plug in the hot plate. You'd have to unplug the microwave.
You could do. So you
The
could
clock
just do
radio.
the clock radio and the blender.
Yep. Yep. You'd have to unplug the microwave or find a new plug. Depends. It used to be like 4, and now it's like 12 because people want more plugs.
Yeah, we have a lot of plugs in our kitchen.
Yep.
Yeah.
But each plug may go, they may all go to the same breaker.
Yeah.
So you need to have more than one breaker to the kitchen. All right, any questions on how we did that? You created an equation and solved it. For the answer?
Yeah.
I wanted to see W is less than 800,
Not clock and.
and then clock, and the two things that you can add
Okay.
was clock and radio, right?
Clock, radio, and blender.
Yeah, clock, radio, and blender. All right, so now you're going to do monitoring progress number 7, and then you're done.
Oh, there's one more.
Easy day. All right, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Excellent.